Katie's gonna start us out. Do you want to pick your own talking chip, or are you going back to mine?
I'll just go back to this one. So, what is the scariest memory you've had from like the past or anything like that?
So the scariest thing that's like happened to you? Is that what you're thinking? Okay.
It was probably when my grandpa had a seizure in front of me.
I was almost kidnapped when I was 6.
When my grandma got pancreatic cancer, I was probably, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7-ish. And we were in Vegas, and I was in like this, we were in the store, and my family left me as a joke. They just walked out and just hid, and I was bawling my eyes out. I was so scared.
Restorative practices and circles are part of our Tier 1 plan to ensure that every student in Corona-Norco Unified School District really gets connected to their school, to their community, and then if things happen, they have a place and a space where they can really feel reconnected.
I think one of the biggest benefits for me as a teacher was that circles gave me an opportunity to not only get to know my students better, but for students to know students better. You know, just by virtue of people being in the same space doesn't guarantee that we're connected.
What I like the most about circles is that it allows everyone to share.
We all know the students that always know the answer and have their hands up, and they always get the opportunity to speak, but there's also the quiet ones that might need a little more processing time, and sometimes, you know, they kind of fall by the wayside.
So I feel like with circles, it really kind of opens that up and it helps you to learn something about somebody else.
Without the circles, we might not know like what stuff they're going through and stuff, so like it helps us be more like empathetic to them.
It definitely helps, especially like I came into the school last year with not a lot of friends.
I definitely got to know everyone better. There was people in the beginning of the year where I didn't really talk to them, but now because of circles, I've gotten to go closer to them.
So circles ensures that every student gets to speak and to share, and every student in the class has a voice, and I think that's really fantastic. It really helps to make each and every student feel valued, and it builds community in our classrooms.
Having the opportunity to have kiddos come out and come into a different environment, it's a positive connection to school. So it's being able to work through and manage anything that they may not feel safe at home to talk about. So this is really a safe space for all of my students.
Yeah, I feel better about them. They're easier to like do, and yeah, because it's like a habit now. We do like almost every week.
It helps like with your social anxiety, talking to people, and it's just a good thing to make friends and learn about your friends.
For me, a lot of it is, it's just validating them as humans, and it helps me to know how I can better help them.
It definitely helps. It could build a relationship with your student. I think me and Ms. Cullen have a very good relationship because we understand each other and we know more about each other because of the circles.
Like I don't have to tell them all the stuff, but I can tell them a little bit for them to know like what's going on in my life.
It empowers them, I feel like, to really see somebody else's point of view, which really helps with collaborative learning.
All right, we're gonna do a movement break for this next bit. Checking in. How are we feeling about these exponent properties that we've been working on before life? I'm totally lost. If that's you, you're gonna head over to that corner. Exponent property stuff to someone else, that's gonna be that corner over there. Go ahead and move 30 seconds, move.
If they were absent, I would teach them what we did like the other day that we had this class.
You know, I kind of explained to them how like exponents work, you know, like it's common mistakes someone would make and like how you're actually supposed to do it and like different ways to show it and write it.
And it's really contributed to their being more comfortable working together and helping each other out and asking each other for help.
For classes that do, the students are much more engaged and more willing to learn.
In different classes, like we're almost like by ourselves on our own island.
It's nice to just be able to get up once in a while and just like see where you're at and where others are at. And it's really nice to know that if you're like struggling, then there's lots of people in the same boat as you.
But now that I'm starting to get more comfortable with it, I've been asking a lot more questions lately, and I've been really into the math more instead of like just dazing off and doing other things on my computer. I've been paying attention more, getting really good at it.
It's also really helped me because I get to see in the immediate moments who gets it, who doesn't, who's struggling, who's scared, who's nervous, both in like the general just kind of how are you feeling kind of way, so that way I know who might need a little check-in, or if it's more content focused, I can notice, ooh, you've totally got this, you're good to go, or ooh, there's a lot of people who still don't get this, I need to reteach that bit.
As you build the climate, you build the culture, it really does have an extremely positive impact on student learning. So we want to make sure our students are happy, we want to make sure our staff is happy, they feel supported, but that they have that space to deal with some of the things that can turn into barriers for them, for their learning, and also, for teachers, making sure they can reach all those students the best way they can.